I, 24F, have been dating my boyfriend, 25M, for about 2 years now. He's a great guy, hard-working, respectful, and treats me like a princess, but I've been struggling with some things about his family that clash with my values. Recently, his older single male cousin, 28M, is visiting from overseas. This cousin comes from a country with stricter laws and more traditional values, so he really wants to experience the freedoms of the Western world, aka visiting a strip club as well as gambling. Instead of discouraging this, my boyfriend's parents, who are divorced, are facilitating the visit to the strip club. His mother, 57F, even asked her ex-husband, my boyfriend's dad, 62M, to chaperone the cousin to the club, which I find wildly inappropriate and strange. IMO, as adults, they should be guiding him toward healthier experiences, not encouraging these kinds of vices. My boyfriend, however, was unbothered when this was brought up at dinner and thinks it's not his problem. While I know he would never go to a strip club himself, I'm a bit disappointed he didn't voice any disagreement or at least discomfort with this plan, especially since it's literally his father that's going. I also find it so weird that his mother would ask her ex-husband for this favor. Like, why not just take this opportunity to politely reject the cousin on the grounds that no one can take him? Speaking of his mother, LV noticed some uncomfortable dynamics in their family. E.g., his mom still has a very close relationship with his dad. They go on family trips all together, have dinners even without the kids, and she seems to rely on him for favors, cutting down trees, cleaning the gutter, etc. Yet she also has a boyfriend who she doesn't seem to see super often. I suspect her boyfriend might already have a family, or even still be married, and I can't shake the feeling that my boyfriend's dad doesn't know about him and might still have hopes of reconciliation and hence is being used, which I think is so unfair for his dad, especially as he hasn't had any partners in the 10 or so years since the divorce. I've mentioned this to my boyfriend, but he doesn't want to break this harmonious family dynamic and he seems to be okay with just leaving it as it is. Plus, he's even nice and polite to the new boyfriend, which irks me a little because in my mind it feels like a betrayal to his dad, especially since it seems like everyone is just keeping him in the dark about the new BF, like WTF. There's more. His family's casual attitude towards sex also makes me super uncomfortable. For example, when my boyfriend was a young teen, 12 to 13, his grandfather was staying with the family and couldn't access a pornography site due to internet issues. He then asked his daughter, aka my BF's mom, to help, who then asked my boyfriend, who ended up fixing it, which I find wildly inappropriate and extremely irresponsible parenting. Like, who does that? His uncle, his mom's brother, left a bunch of porn magazines lying around when my boyfriend was a child, like 7 to 8, who distinctly remembers finding them. The uncle later abandoned his son after divorcing his wife and remarried an old flame from his hometown. One time on a family holiday while my boyfriend was in middle school, the uncle pretended to grope the boobs of a naked statue. The photo was taken by his mother and aunt, who were laughing instead of chastising him. What kind of role modeling is that? All of this makes it hard for me to feel comfortable around his family, especially his mother. My boyfriend has asked me to be warmer and more friendly toward her, but I struggle with this because these things clash so strongly with my values. He also feels like I'm too judgmental of his parents, ESP his mom, and that I should give them more of a chance instead of judging them before getting to know them better. While my boyfriend himself doesn't seem to share these behaviors, I strongly believe he's also been shaped by this environment. For example, he first had sex at the age of 13, which I believe was influenced by the casual attitude towards sex in his family. When we started dating, he tried to initiate sex like a few weeks in, and was pretty pushy about it too, which made me uncomfortable as it was my first time. I had to ask him to slow down and wait, which he fully respected, but I sometimes still feel aggravated that he didn't value the experience in the same way I did. I've always been a romantic at heart, and wanted my first time to be meaningful and memorable, which it did end up being, but only after I had detailed conversations about my thoughts on such things with my boyfriend. I can't help but judge his parents and their behaviors, and I sometimes feel like I'm judging him by extension, even though he's grown into a much more respectful and moral person. So AITAH for being judgmental of my boyfriend's family's morals and struggling to connect with them because of these issues?